Welcome to the Colors of Prog. This is season 2, episode 22. I'm Louis Paul, in case you don't know who I am. And this Podbean, YouTube, posted on Facebook channel is all where I discuss progressive music, progressive rock music, past, present, future, and some live recordings. So recently I spoke of Shingetsu, a Japanese band, pretty obscure. And it's an obscure Italian band called Museo Rosenbach. Now they formed in 1971, disbanded in 74, reformed in 1999, and have been erratic ever since. The original lineup consisted of Stefano Lupo Galiffi. Lupo was his nickname because he had a very aggressive kind of hard rock approach in his vocals. Enzo Moragno on guitars and vocals. Pito Corradi on a variety of keyboards, including Farfisa, Hammond organ, and the Mellotron. Alberto Moreno on bass and keyboards, and Giancarlo Gozzi on percussion and vocals. They recorded Zarathustra, released in 73. That's this. I also have the vinyl, but it's easier just to so this is what I'm talking about. This is the first album, Zarathustra. Even the CD tends to disappear in the marketplace sometimes, and it's hard to find. Good luck finding the vinyl nowadays, but Zarathustra, again, is based on Nietzsche's book, same title. The original work was about and questioning whether the title character is a philosopher, a prophet, or a leader. Now, if you're not familiar with the writings of Nietzsche, it's pretty heavy stuff, and a pretty strange subject for someone to pretty much work an album around. Yes, the album is short, barely 40 minutes, but the first tune is a suite in 5 parts lasting over 20 minutes. Maybe a tad more aggressive musically than the usual Italian prog of the time. I'm talking about Banco and PFM, for example, with a lead singer with a more baritone voice, more hard rock sound to his vocals. That's Galiffi. But the results are a unique band, with one foot in the classic Italian prog, and the other in areas forged by hard rockers like Deep Purple, or the metaphysical poetry come psychedelia of the Doors, but different. So they returned in 2000 with Exit, but that's the title of an album, but it only featured the original bass player and drummer, and everyone else was all new. It was met by underwhelming critical and commercial acceptance. It's not really a great album. In 2013, Galiffi returned to the band as lead singer, but only Moreno on keyboards and Gozzi on drums remained from the original Zarathustra lineup. So everybody else was all new. They recorded Barbarica, a more than acceptable follow-up to the 1973 album. Barbarica. It was released on the Imaginifica self-IT label. And what's interesting about this is that this label was kind of started by and maintained by members of PFM for Italian progressive music artists who couldn't get on major labels, and or major labels at the time, even in Italy, even the major prog labels weren't really interested in handling their product. And so the guys in PFM created this label. On occasion, I mentioned Imaginifica self-IT. So, that being said, their popularity then began to go on the rise for Museo Rosenbach. They re-recorded Zarathustra live in the studio something about the first album's master tapes being lost, or maybe it was something about the rights to the music being withheld because they probably signed over the rights to their label being a young new band. In either case, they re-recorded it live in the studio and re-released it. Then they embarked on a tour of Asia, especially Japan, because why? Who knows? But the Japanese love the progressive music, and especially British and Italian progressive music. Recorded in the spring of 2013, live in Tokyo, that finds the first set. It's a 2 CD set, but the first set was a run-through of Zarathustra, and the second, Barbarica. Goltzy, the original drummer, passed in 2015. Really nice that the Live in Tokyo CD, no images, folks, just that. In English, though, right? Recorded at the Club Chitta in Kawasaki, Tokyo, April 26, 2013. They thank recording engineer Sanpachiro Kawadi, who was the house sound guy. He did such a good job recording the band for their live performance. They decided, wow, it sounds terrific. We're going to release it. So a year later, they did. Stefano Lupo Galiffi has remained very active, guest appearing on other artists' music and albums, and even joining forces with keyboardist Eliza Montaldo as lead singer for the debut album of Il Tempio della Classidia in 2010. In 2021, he released his first solo album, Dei Ricordi of Museo, to much acclaim. So, pretty short one. Museo Rosenbach, and some mention of Stefano Galiffi. They're a very interesting band. They used to be thought of as a one-and-done band because they recorded and released this debut album, Zarathustra, which was this one, and then broke up. And a lot of people like it. Some people have said it's one of the best for Italian progressive music. And so they reunited, released Barbarica, toured Asia, and Galiffi has been around, singing with other people, singing with other bands, and releasing his solo work. So that's our show today. Thank you for listening and watching.